Hi there! I asked y'all on Twitter what a self-care item that you suck at is, and tons of people said cleaning up. Well, I'm no cleaning up expert, but I feel like I do a decent job sometimes. In fact, my wife is super good at this, and I learned some stuff from her. So I said, sweetie, I'm cleaning up a room, and I'm gonna film it. And she said, okay, here's some stuff I always do when I clean up a space, and things you can do too. All right, so this is our playroom / office, and we have a whole bunch of stuff in here. It's not the most crazy cluttered room in the world, but it's a little more than we'd want at the moment. And I didn't clean this up at all. I just straight up turned on the camera. We have a bunch of toys in here in each of these bins. We've gone through this a few times. We have some stuff for my wife's stream up here. We have the main desk, which is shared by the mama and the kids. PC down there. We have toys. Play kitchen with random stuff kind of stacked on it. Back here we have a closet full of somewhat random things. And this is pretty much how this looks all the time. We have a couple play areas, but they kind of just get stuff stuck on them. Then we have a pile of books back here. All of this was put here with the best intentions, but it just kind of keeps looking like this, and we want to clean it up. I like to use something called the 3-tub method. You get 3 tubs and you label them. One is for trash, one is stuff to donate, and the other is Keepers Mr. Meepers. Get out of here, this stuff. The first thing I do in a room is take out all of the big stuff that's just gonna be in the way that I don't really need to organize. This is the part where it seems like it gets a little bit overwhelming because you're kind of afraid to take stuff off. I think I'll just keep this. This looks pretty nice, it looks okay. Don't do it. From there, pick a space in the room and take everything off of that space. Take it completely out. That can be a shelf, that can be a cabinet, a desk, maybe it's just one wall. The first thing I chose was the left side of these shelves. You're just trying to work on this space right now. So what are we gonna keep from this pile of stuff? I took everything out and went through every single box, every little bit, everything. And the only things that went back on that shelf were things that I was for sure keeping. Everything else got put into a tub. As I'm going through things, I like to go through every single box and think about just about every item. Is this something I really like? Is this something I'm really going to use? Is this worth the space that it takes up? And in my experience, when you're honest with yourself, a lot of things just aren't worth keeping. They can be passed on to another family or just straight thrown away. If you're afraid to donate something, my advice would be to put it in a box and put it out in the garage or in the shed or somewhere out of the way and put the date on it. Then in a couple months, if you can't even remember what's in the box, probably not that important. When I'm trying to decide how much stuff to get rid of, what things to keep, I try to err on the side of just being a little bit crazy. Just getting rid of a little bit too much stuff because honestly, it's probably about the right amount. And then I pretty much just repeated that process with little bits of the room. That'd be the play kitchen, the little tool bench, the closet, the pile of books, the desk. And eventually I ended up with a whole bunch of stuff to donate and a whole bunch of stuff to throw away and a much, much cleaner room. The last piece of advice I have is to do this all at once. Push some time aside, push 3 or 4 hours aside to clean up a room, depending on how dirty it is, and do it all at once, because if you try and do it a little bit at a time, it's just going to get messy again. And even though it takes a bigger chunk of time to do the whole thing, at the end, the results pretty much speak for themselves. So my couple hours of work on the playroom, it ended up looking pretty awesome. Keeping your space neat and tidy is a huge self-care item for a lot of us. And for me, taking care of my space and my things is a lot like taking care of my money. Everything needs to have a place. I have a really cool video on budgeting using candy. It's really fun, super unintimidating. You can check that out right here. Yep. Right there. Yep. That's the video right there.